Jai Gurudev, and thank you for joining us today. Today we have with us an art of living expert and an officer of the Vedic Dharma Sansthan. Today we are going to discuss about various practices in art of living and should they have a financial contribution attained to it and attached to it. So why is there a discussion now about whether free satsangs, kriya follow-ups and puja should be made paid? Yes, Jagadav, the art of living has always emphasized seva and accessibility. Many programs like weekly satsangs or daily satsangs or kriya follow-ups, Rudra pujas and Devi pujas in Gurudev's presence have been kept free to allow everyone, regardless of background, to participate. However, over time, we see that when something is free, people often fail to value it fully. Some attend casually, some come late, or leave early. Introducing a nominal fee or making these offerings into sankalpa based participation ensures respect for the sacredness of the process and for those who dedicate their skills, the teachers, singers, and priests in Vedic culture. Dakshina has always been a way of honoring under Gurudev's leadership. We must find the right balance, ensuring inclusivity while instilling reverence. Exactly, Vedic tradition never viewed rituals as mere free events. They were sacred exchanges where the devotee offered something, even a symbolic dakshina, to honor the knowledge bearer by structuring free follow-ups into sankalpa pujas or nominally ticketed satsangs. We bring discipline, respect, and continuity. Gurudev always says respect flows where value is recognized. Hence, introducing this system may uplift the collective consciousness. Would charging a fee not exclude poor or sincere seekers who cannot afford it? That's a genuine concern. Art of living has always been inclusive, reaching people across economic backgrounds. But making a service valued doesn't necessarily mean making it inaccessible. Even a small token fee like the cost of a tea can shift the mindset from casualness to commitment. Moreover, scholarships, seva-based participation, or flexible contributions can ensure no sincere seeker is ever turned away. Gurudev has always instructed us to ensure that finance should never be a barrier to inner growth. The Vedas describe three types of offerings: the dravyam or the material, the manasam or the mental devotion, and the shariram or the physical service. Not everyone can give money, but they can offer seva. So even if a nominal fee is placed, those unable to pay can serve in organizing, singing, or arranging logistics. This way, equality is preserved. What matters is honoring the process and not treating it as a casual social gathering. Paid or free, the essence must be devotion. Gurudev's leadership ensures that inclusion remains the first principle. How can paid formats enhance the respect for teachers and priests? When Sudarshan Kriya follow-ups are free, participants may not realize the immense preparation and knowledge that teachers bring. Similarly, priests spend years mastering mantras, and bhajan singers dedicate their lives to devotion. If a small fee is introduced, participants see this as a sacred exchange. Respect naturally grows because the process is no longer taken for granted. Moreover, when teachers and priests are honored, they feel supported and inspired to give their best. This sustains the ecosystem of wisdom in Sanatana Dharma. A priest or guru is never seen as an employee but as a divine channel. Yet, in the modern system, when everything else is paid for entertainment, meals, yoga classes, it is odd that spiritual masters and Vedic experts are expected to work free. This undervalues their role. A formal structure where participants consciously contribute transforms this and their perception. They no longer see it as a free time pass but as an honored event. Under Gurudev, this balance of tradition and modern respect can be beautifully structured. Could introducing fees change the purity or devotional aspect of satsangs and pujas? That depends on how it is done. If money becomes the central focus, then purity is compromised. But if the intention is honoring the sacred process, then devotion only deepens. Even now, people spend thousands on weddings, concerts, or movie tickets, yet hesitate to support satsangs or kriya follow-ups. By introducing sankalpa based offerings, we are reviving the ancient model of yajna, where every participant offers something for collective upliftment. In this way, devotion is enhanced, not diminished. Yes, in temples, devotees give arti tickets or puja tickets, yet devotion is not diluted. It increases because they feel committed. Similarly, Rudra pujas or Devi pujas in Gurudev's presence can have sankalpa based offerings. It makes the devotee more aware that they are not just watching but actively participating. Purity lies in intention, and Gurudev has always emphasized intention over form. If implemented wisely, this will elevate the devotional atmosphere. Now, how would daily or weekly satsangs change if they had a nominal ticket fee? Daily or weekly satsangs are currently seen as open gatherings where people can casually walk in. With a ticket or contribution system, participants will arrive on time, sit with reverence, and stay till the end. It will no longer be just background music but a sacred darshan. The bhajan singers will feel honored, and participants will prepare themselves mentally to receive blessings. A little structure adds discipline, and discipline enhances devotion. Now, in Vedic times, sabhas and satsangs were never without offering. The Yajamana always gives something, grains, ghee, or dakshina. This created seriousness in the community. Today, if we apply the same principle with a modern touch, small tickets, sankalpa pujas, or contribution based satsangs, it will bring depth. Gurudev has always said satsang is not an entertainment program, it is a celebration of the self. If people treat it with the same seriousness as other paid events, the energy will magnify. Now, how does Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Ji's leadership influence this balance between free access and paid respect? Gurudev has always been a visionary in bridging tradition with modernity. His leadership ensures that while no seeker is excluded, the sanctity of spiritual practices is maintained. He understands the psychology of people. When something is free, it may be overlooked. When there is a conscious contribution, it is valued. Gurudev has often guided us that the real exchange in spirituality is Shraddha or faith, but faith is also expressed through offering, whether seva, time, or dakshina. Under his vision, any move toward introducing paid formats would not be about money but about creating deeper commitment. His leadership guarantees that inclusivity and reverence coexist. Now, in Vedic Dharma, the Guru is the living embodiment of balance. Gurudev represents that perfectly. He ensures no one is denied knowledge while also reviving the ancient ways of honoring those who preserve and transmit sacred practices. His leadership is key because he can communicate the shift to both devotees and teachers in a way that inspires rather than alienates. When changes happen under his guidance, people don't see them as financial transactions, they see them as part of a sacred revival. That is the strength of Gurudev's leadership. Now, what role does Sankalpa play if Rudra Pujas and Devi Pujas are made Sankalpa based? Sankalpa is the conscious intention set before performing any ritual. When Rudra or Devi Pujas are made Sankalpa based, the devotee is no longer a passive attendee, they are an active participant. By contributing through a Sankalpa, whether big or small, they energetically align with the purpose of the puja. This makes the experience more personal and powerful. It also brings a discipline and seriousness to the gathering as every participant feels invested. In fact, Gurudev often reminds us the sankalpa of the Yajman fuels the entire ritual. Indeed, the concept of a Yajman, the one who hosts or sponsors the ritual, is central to Vedic tradition. A sankalpa is not about money, it is about responsibility. When a devotee takes sankalpa, they invite divine blessings into their life and community. Making Rudra Puja and Devi Puja sankalpa based ensures that participants don't just watch but engage with devotion. Priests also feel honored as their chanting is empowered by the sankalpas they carry. This is a true revival of Vedic practice in a modern setting. Could introducing fees for Kriya follow ups affect participation numbers? Initially, numbers may fluctuate because some people might hesitate, but over time, the quality of participants will improve. Those who attend will come with sincerity, not casually. Even if the group size is smaller, the depth of energy will be stronger. Gurudev often says one candle can light 1,000. A few committed practitioners create more energy than a large crowd of half hearted attendees. So, yes, numbers may adjust, but the seriousness and respect for the practice will increase. We must remember that in temples, when darshan tickets were introduced, people initially questioned it, but soon they realized the benefits: orderliness, discipline, and respect. Similarly, Kriya follow ups with a fee can streamline participation. Those who truly value the practice will not mind a small contribution. Moreover, arrangements for those who cannot pay can be kept intact. Over time, instead of chasing numbers, the focus will shift to quality and depth, which is the true aim of any spiritual process. Now, how can bhajan singers and musicians benefit if satsangs become ticketed events? Bhajan singers dedicate countless hours to learning ragas, composing devotional songs, and rehearsing for satsangs. Often they do this purely as seva. While seva is noble, consistent undervaluing of their effort may discourage young talent from taking this path. If satsangs become ticketed or contribution based, a portion can be set aside to honor these singers. This creates a sustainable model where devotion music thrives and inspires future generations. Respect grows when recognition is tangible. Yes, in the past, kings and communities always patronized temple musicians and bhajan singers. That is why traditions like Carnatic music, Harikatha, and bhajan mandalis flourish today. Without patronage, many artists struggle, and devotional music risks being sidelined. Ticketed satsangs allow us to revive this culture of honoring musicians. When people contribute, they don't just listen to a bhajan, they value the singer's devotion. Under Gurudev's leadership, we can ensure that bhajan singers are treated with the same reverence as priests, sustaining their sacred art form. Now, how would priests and pandits organizing pujas feel if a formal fee system is introduced? Priests spend years memorizing mantras, training in rituals, and preserving oral traditions. Yet, in modern times, their efforts are often undervalued. If a formal fee system is introduced, they will feel respected for their expertise. Instead of being seen as casual facilitators, they will be recognized as carriers of divine knowledge. This acknowledgement encourages younger generations to also pursue priesthood seriously. Respect and financial honor together create sustainability for Vedic traditions. This is a vital point. In villages and towns, priests were once the pillars of community life, but with the modernization, their role has been reduced, sometimes even looked down upon because rituals are expected to be free. By introducing a structured offering system, we re-establish their dignity. Priests are not just service providers, they are custodians of dharma. A fee or sankalpa based system helps society remember this truth, and when it is introduced under Gurudev's compassionate guidance, it will be accepted gracefully, not as a burden. Wouldn't introducing fees make spirituality appear commercialized? That's an important concern. Spirituality loses its essence if it becomes purely transactional, but charging a nominal fee or accepting sankalpa is not commercialization, it is honoring the sacred exchange. Commercialization is when profit becomes a motive. Here, the motive is respect, sustainability, and seriousness. Even today, people pay for yoga classes, music concerts, or wellness programs, yet they don't question the purity of those experiences. Why then should satsangs or pujas be made and seen differently? Gurudev often says, value what you receive. When structured properly, fees will not reduce devotion but deepen it because the process will be taken more sincerely. Now, in the Vedic system, the concept of dakshina was central, but nobody ever saw it as business. It was gratitude, not commerce. A student gave dakshina to the guru after learning, not to buy knowledge but to express reverence. If we revive this, spirituality will not be commercialized, it will be dignified. Under Gurudev's leadership, safeguards can ensure that money never overshadows devotion. The spirituality will remain pure, while respect for teachers, priests, and musicians will be restored. Now, how does paying for satsangs or pujas affect the psychology of participants? Psychologically, when people pay even a small amount, they prepare themselves mentally to receive. There is a subtle sense of investment. I have committed to this process that shifts their focus from distraction to immersion. Free events, while inclusive, sometimes make people casual. They may arrive late, check their phones, or leave halfway. When there is a payment or a sankalpa, people value every minute of the experience. The seriousness of the atmosphere multiplies. The mind naturally values what it gives something for. This is a simple truth. When we pay for a ticket movie, we sit through the entire film, even if it is boring, because we value our investment. But in a free satsang, someone might casually walk away. By introducing a fee, the psychology of reverence and attentiveness is restored. In Vedic practice, offerings were a way of tuning the devotee's mind. When one offers before receiving, the mind enters humility. This same psychology can elevate today's satsangs and pujas if structured properly. How can daily evening satsangs benefit from a structured ticket system? Daily satsangs are fountains of joy and collective energy, but often participants treat them casually as open gatherings. With a ticket system, even a nominal one. Devotees will approach satsangs with preparation and reverence. They will arrive on time, stay until the end, and participate wholeheartedly in bhajans and meditation. For singers and organizers, this is deeply motivating. It creates a cycle of mutual respect. Participants honor the effort, and singers are inspired to offer their best. From a dharmic perspective, satsangs are mini yagyas. In a yagya, participants always give something: wood, ghee, or grains. Similarly, If satsangs have a ticket system, it restores that sense of yajna. Moreover, the collected contributions can support musicians, logistics, and temple upkeep. This ensures continuity without burdening organizers. Instead of being seen as casual, free programs, satsangs will regain their sacred stature as essential community events. Gurudev's guidance can make this shift smooth and uplifting for all. How does honoring time and skills of teachers align with Gurudev's vision? Teachers in the art of living dedicate their lives to sharing Gurudev's knowledge. They travel, guide, and conduct courses tirelessly, often on a voluntary basis. Yet sometimes participants fail to recognize the years of sadhana behind a single Kriya session. By creating structured offerings, participants are reminded that the teacher's time and expertise are valuable. Gurudev's vision has always been about dignity in service, whether it's a farmer, artist, or teacher. Respecting the time of a Kriya teacher or puja priest aligns perfectly with his message of honoring every role in society. Yes, Dharma teaches us that Guru, Acharya, and Ritvik or the priest are to be honored above all because they carry knowledge and keep traditions alive. In today's world, honoring time is as important as honoring words. When participants consciously offer respect through sankalpa, dakshina, or tickets, they acknowledge the invisible tapasya behind every teaching. Gurudev has modernized this principle beautifully, ensuring that while teachers serve selflessly, society does not take their service for granted. It is respect in action, not mere words. How can seva and feast coexist without contradiction? Seva is the heart of art of living and it must never be replaced by money. However, seva does not mean undervaluing effort. Both seva and feast can coexist. For example, one participant may contribute financially, another may serve by arranging flowers or logistics, and another may sing bhajans. All are valid forms of offering. Introducing feast doesn't mean seva disappears, it simply adds another channel of respect. Gurudev has always emphasized diversity in contribution. Some give time, some skills, and some resources. Together they create wholeness. This is exactly how Vedic society functioned. The yajna was never supported by money alone. Some brought ghee, others brought grains, some served by cleaning, and some by chanting. Everyone contributed according to their capacity. In the same way, feast and seva can harmoniously coexist. If someone cannot pay, seva becomes their offering. If someone is unable to serve physically, their financial contribution sustains the event. Under Gurudev's guidance, this balance ensures no contradiction, only completeness. Now, how do you ensure that money does not overshadow devotion in these processes? The key is intention. If fees are introduced with transparency and framed as a form of sankalpa or dakshina, people will not see it as a commercial transaction. In every session, Gurudev reminds us that devotion is the essence. Money is only a tool to sustain the process and honor those involved. By keeping the contribution nominal and optional for those who cannot pay, devotion remains at the center. Communication matters. The participants are told clearly that this is not a fee but an offering to uphold the sanctity of the practice. Their hearts remain devotional. Exactly. In Vedic rituals, no yajna was performed without offering, but the offering was never the focus. The focus was always the deity and the intention of the yajman. Similarly, money should be seen as a symbolic gesture. Priests and teachers must remind participants that the true fruit lies in bhakti or devotion and shraddha or faith. Gurudev's leadership ensures that spiritual purity is never compromised. Under his guidance, money will remain a servant of devotion, not its master. How can young people be motivated to take satsang seriously if there is a ticketed system? Young people today spend readily on movies, concerts, and experiences that entertain them. If satsangs have a nominal ticket, it automatically signals that this is something valuable. Youth respond well to structured systems. If they pay even a small amount, they will treat satsangs with the same seriousness as any other event. Moreover, when they see singers and teachers being honored, they understand that spirituality is not outdated, it is alive and respected. This encourages them to engage more deeply. Yes, and youth psychology values what society values. When priests, singers, and teachers are treated with respect financially and socially, young people take note if everything spiritual is always free, while everything material is paid. Youth unconsciously rank spirituality as less important. By creating a ticketed system, satsangs are placed on par with valued experiences. And since Gurudev's presence makes satsangs joyful and celebratory, young people will naturally see them as meaningful investments of time and money. This can build a new generation of committed seekers. Now, how daily evening satsangs with a fee help strengthen community bonds? Jayagrudev, when participants contribute to a satsang, they feel a sense of ownership. It is no longer just an event to attend, it becomes our satsang. This shared responsibility strengthens the community bonds. People arrive early, help with arrangements, and stay till the end. Even the act of pooling small contributions creates a sense of collective support. Over time, satsangs transform into true community celebrations where everyone feels equally responsible. In traditional villages, every household contributed something to temple festivals, be it grains, oil, flowers, or funds. This created strong social unity. Similarly, when satsangs are supported by ticketed contributions, people know they are part of something greater than themselves. They sing louder, meditate deeper, and engage more. The respect for organizers, priests, and singers also strengthens the fabric of trust in the community. Under Gurudev's blessing, satsangs can become the nucleus of vibrant, united communities. How can Rudra Puja on Mondays or Devi Puja on Fridays in Gurudev's presence benefit from being structured as a paid Sankalpa pujas? Jagadev, Rudra Puja and Devi Pujas are extremely powerful rituals that require hours of preparation by priests and organizers. When they are free, people may come casually without tuning their minds. If structured as Sankalpa Pujas with a nominal fee, devotees will arrive prepared with sincerity and purpose. They will connect more deeply to the Sankalpa and feel that their presence is truly part of the ritual. This enhances the collective energy of the puja, making it more powerful for everyone involved. Yes, in Vedic culture, Mondays and Fridays are traditionally auspicious for Shiva and Devi. When devotees take Sankalpa on these days, they align themselves with cosmic energies. A paid Sankalpa system ensures that priests feel honored and participants value the ritual. Even if the contribution is small, it carries weight because it reflects intention. The energy of Rudra and Devi worship becomes magnified when participants consciously invest their devotion through Sankalpa. This creates a win-win: respect for priests, discipline for devotees, and powerful blessings for all. Now, could a fee system help revive traditional respect for Vedic rituals in modern times? Yes, absolutely. Today, many people see Vedic rituals as outdated or irrelevant because they are offered casually and often undervalued. A fee system reintroduces the principle that rituals are sacred and worthy of respect. When people consciously contribute, they view rituals as serious spiritual processes, not just background activities. This automatically revives respect. Over time, Vedic rituals regain their central place in people's lives, not as obligations but as honor traditions. This is precisely how Sanatana Dharma preserved itself for millennia, through mutual respect between Yajman and Ritvik, between devotee and priest. Modern times have diluted this relationship because everything is expected for free. By reintroducing structured contributions, rituals regain dignity, priests feel valued, devotees feel engaged, and society remembers that these practices are not mere culture, they are living sciences. Under Gurudev's leadership, this revival can happen seamlessly, combining tradition with the contemporary relevance. Now, how can Sudarshan Kriya follow ups be structured if they become paid sessions? Yes, Jagadev, Sudarshan Kriya is not just a technique, it is a living process that sustains one's spiritual journey. If follow ups are structured with a small fee, they can be more organized and professional. Participants would register in advance, come prepared, and commit to the entire session instead of treating it casually. Teachers can plan better, ensure quality guidance, and even bring in additional elements like wisdom points or deeper meditations. The fees can also support venue arrangements and teacher welfare, making the system sustainable in the long run. Yes, this approach mirrors Vedic discipline. A yajna was never performed casually. Everyone came with preparation and offering. Similarly, Kriya follow-ups can be framed as Sankalpa sessions where participants contribute consciously. Those who cannot pay can serve through seva. The key is that every participant comes with responsibility. This increases the depth of the collective energy, making each session more transformative. Gurudev has always emphasized that discipline enhances sadhana and the structure can bring discipline naturally. Now, what safeguards are needed to prevent misuse of money in such systems? Transparency is vital. Participants should know exactly how contributions are being used, whether for teacher honorarium, priestly dakshina, or logistical arrangements. When systems are transparent, trust is built and no one feels money is misused. Gurudev has always stressed accountability in organizational work. If a clear breakdown is given, say, part goes to musicians, part goes to venue, part to ritual materials, then people will feel confident that their offerings are being used for sacred purposes, not profit. In the Vedic system, offerings were always used for dharmic purposes, supporting priests, temples, and community welfare. Misuse was seen as a great adharma. To prevent this today, a formal system of receipts, published accounts, and dedicated funds can be established. When people see their contributions directly sustaining spiritual activities, their faith strengthens. Gurudev's leadership already ensures high standards of integrity. Codifying these safeguards will make the fee system universally respected and trusted. Could charging for satsangs reduce the joy and spontaneity of gatherings? Not necessarily. Joy and spontaneity come from the music, meditation, and collective energy, not from whether the event is free. If anything, a contribution system can increase joy because participants arrive with reverence and intention. The singers, organizers, and priests feel honored, which inspires them to give their best. Spontaneity can be preserved by keeping the satsang format free flowing, even if the satsang entry is ticketed. Gurudev often reminds us that true joy arises from depth, not casualness. Yes, spontaneity is the essence of a satsang, but structure adds stability. In temples, devotees may purchase tickets for darshan, yet the joy of darshan is not diminished. It is enhanced because they are present mindfully. Similarly, satsangs can remain spontaneous while having a ticket system. If participants know they have consciously contributed, they are more likely to immerse themselves wholeheartedly. Far from reducing joy, this will deepen it, making satsangs more vibrant and alive. How can these changes support the financial stability of full time teachers and priests? Many art of living teachers dedicate themselves full time, leaving behind careers to serve humanity. Similarly, priests devote their lives to mastering Vedic knowledge, yet without financial support, they may struggle. A structured contribution system creates stability, ensuring they can continue their work with dignity and without worry. This allows them to focus entirely on their sadhana and teaching rather than on survival. Gurudev always emphasizes that when those serving society are cared for, the entire society flourishes. This is vital for preserving dharma. In ancient times, kings and communities supported rishis and priests so that they would focus solely on spiritual work. Today, without similar systems, many are forced into alternative jobs, weakening the continuity of tradition. By ensuring teachers and priests are supported financially, we sustain the living chain of wisdom. This is not about luxury but about dignity. Under Gurudev's guidance, such stability can be created without compromising devotion. Now, what role does gratitude play in the idea of paying for spiritual processes? Jagadev, gratitude is the heart of every spiritual offering. Payment is not a price, it is an expression of gratitude. When a student offers dakshina to the Guru, it is not because the knowledge has a cost, but because gratitude seeks expression. Similarly, a nominal fee or sankalpa is a way of saying thank you to the teacher, the priest, the singer, and the divine. This transforms the act from a transaction into a sacred exchange rooted in love and respect. In the Vedic system, gratitude was expressed through offerings. After every ritual, even the smallest flower or coin was accepted as a symbol of devotion. The gesture mattered more than the amount. Paying for satsangs or pujas today is simply a modern continuation of this principle. Gratitude ensures that the heart remains pure and the process does not become commercial. Gurudev always reminds us gratitude transforms the giver more than the receiver. This is the essence behind introducing such contributions. Now, how can a nominal fee help maintain discipline in large satsangs or Sudarshan Kriya follow ups? Discipline is essential for deep spiritual practice. When events are free, some participants may arrive late, leave early, or get distracted, which affects the collective energy. A nominal fee signals commitment. Participants are more likely to respect timings, sit attentively, and fully engage. Teachers can plan sessions better, knowing attendees are serious. Gurudev often says that even a small action done with discipline magnifies the energy manifold. Structured contributions don't create barriers, they create focus and reverence. Yes, this mirrors Vedic yagyas where participants offering symbolize their commitment. In a structured system, every attendee becomes a conscious yajman, responsible for maintaining the sanctity of the space. The fee is symbolic yet psychologically powerful. It encourages punctuality, attention, and respect for all involved. Priests, musicians, and teachers experience higher energy and motivation. Gurudev emphasizes that discipline nurtures both the participant and the collective consciousness. Would paying for pujas or satsangs affect the inclusivity of the programs? Inclusivity is paramount even if a nominal fee is introduced. It must not exclude anyone. Art of Living can adopt flexible models, sliding contributions, optional donations, or seva participation in place of payment. The goal is not revenue but respect and commitment. Gurudev has always guided us to ensure that financial inability is never a barrier to learning or spiritual growth. Proper communication ensures participants understand that contribution is a form of honoring, not a requirement for access. Absolutely, in Vedic tradition, yagyas welcomed all kings, farmers, and even the poorest. Money was never the measure of devotion. Similarly, today, fees or sankalpas can coexist with accessibility. Those unable to pay can serve in various ways, organizing, cleaning, or assisting priests. The essence is participation and devotion. Inclusivity is preserved, while the seriousness and sanctity of the rituals are enhanced under Gurudev's guidance. How can a ticketed system encourage consistent attendance? When participants consciously contribute, even minimally, they feel invested. This increases commitment, reducing casual attendance. People plan their schedules around the event, attend on time, and remain present for the full darshan. Over time, this consistency builds stronger practice habits. So, darshan kriya follow-ups, for example, are most effective when attended regularly. Fees or sankalpas act as gentle reminders. I am here to receive, not just watch. This aligns perfectly with Gurudev's emphasis on daily practice and dedication. Yes, continuity is crucial for spiritual growth. Vedic yagyas were repeated regularly, with communities participating consistently because of shared responsibility. Modern ticketing or contribution systems create a similar sense of commitment. Attendees become active participants, not casual observers. Priests and teachers also benefit as they can prepare in advance, enhancing the quality of the experience. Gurudev emphasizes that sustained practice leads to transformation and structured participation encourages that. Can the ticket or contribution system support the infrastructure of temples or centers? Absolutely. Even the simplest events require logistics, sound, seating, flowers, lamps, and priest arrangements. Small contributions from participants can cover these costs without burdening any single individual. This ensures high quality arrangements, better sound, comfortable seating, and a clean environment, all of which enhance the spiritual experience. Gurudev has always encouraged creating sacred spaces where the divine can be experienced fully. Small contributions keep the space beautiful and functional for everyone. Now, temples and centers are not just buildings, they are energy hubs. Maintaining them requires consistent resources. Contributions, even nominal, ensure that priests, musicians, and teachers have the support they need. The Vedic model always emphasized that offerings sustain the ecosystem of knowledge. Ticketed systems or sankalpas create self sustaining arrangements while preserving devotion and dignity under Gurudev. This modern adaptation ensures centers remain vibrant and welcoming for generations. How can participants feel honored when contributing to spiritual programs? Contribution is a form of participating in the spiritual process itself. When participants offer a ticket, a sankalpa, or a donation or a fee, they are acknowledged for their devotion and commitment. Teachers, priests, and musicians receive respect in return, which participants can observe and feel proud of. Gurudev often says, when you honor the giver and the receiver, the energy multiplies. Clear communication about how contributions are used, supporting teachers, rituals, and infrastructure makes participants feel their offering matters, elevating both their inner and outer experience. Yes, in Vedic culture, offering always involved recognition and mutual respect. Participants saw the impact of their contribution immediately. Priests performed rituals, musicians sang, the community was uplifted. Similarly, modern contributions allow attendees to witness how their gesture sustains the spiritual ecosystem. When they understand their role in empowering the process, their hearts feel honored, creating a virtuous cycle of respect, devotion, and collective upliftment. Gurudev's guidance ensures this honor is felt without commercializing the experience. How can paid follow-ups deepen participants' connection with the Sudarshan Kriya? Jagadish, Sudarshan Kriya is a dynamic process and its true benefits emerge through consistent practice and conscious participation. When follow-ups are paid, even nominally, participants approach the session with commitment rather than casual curiosity. This mental investment creates a focused mind, allowing deeper breathing, meditation, and reflection. Gurudev emphasizes that sincerity magnifies the energy of the practice. Therefore, even a small contribution serves as a conscious affirmation. I value this practice and I am committed to my inner growth. The collective energy of a committed group becomes more powerful than a larger casual gathering. From a Vedic perspective, energy flows where intention is strong. Those who consciously invest in a Kriya session act like yajmans of their own inner yajna. Their focused participation elevates the session for everyone, including teachers and fellow participants. Even if a few cannot pay, their seva ensures inclusivity. This balance between contribution and devotion mirrors ancient practices, and under Gurudev's guidance, it reinforces the transformative potential of Sudarshan Kriya while sustaining the teacher community. Now, how would ticketed evening satsangs affect the atmosphere of devotion? A ticketed or contribution based satsang signals commitment, enhancing the seriousness and attentiveness of participants. People arrive prepared, sit quietly, and immerse themselves fully in bhajans, meditation, and wisdom talks. The energy of the room deepens because everyone acknowledges the sanctity of the gathering. Gurudev often points out that collective intention amplifies energy. Even a small contribution subtly aligns participants' minds, creating a more sacred and harmonious atmosphere where the divine can be experienced more profoundly. Devotion thrives on focus and mutual respect. In free gatherings, distractions are more common, which dilutes the energy. A contribution system just doesn't replace devotion, it strengthens it by encouraging participants to arrive with conscious attention. Priests and musicians feel honored, which naturally elevates the quality of their offerings. The combined effect is a satsang that resonates with deeper dharmic energy, reflecting the Vedic principle that conscious participation multiplies blessings. Under Gurudev's guidance, the model nurtures devotion and respecting tradition while respecting tradition. How can weekly Rudra Pujas with Afis ensure better preparation and outcomes? Rudra Pujas require meticulous preparation, chanting, offerings, and precise rituals. A free or Sankalpa system encourages participants to plan their presence sincerely and prepare mentally. It signals that the puja is sacred and demands respect. Teachers and priests can plan better, ensuring every mantra and offering is executed perfectly. When participants engage consciously, the collective energy rises significantly. Gurudev emphasizes that the sanctity of rituals is amplified when intention, preparation, and devotion come together, creating measurable spiritual benefits. Yes, historically, yagyas and pujas were supported by contributions, ensuring quality and commitment. A structured system allows priests to organize materials and chants efficiently. Participants are also aware of their responsibility in co creating the sacred energy. Even minor contributions magnify engagement and collective focus. Under Gurudev, the integration of tradition and modern structure ensures rituals are conducted flawlessly while honoring both teachers and devotees. The puja becomes a transformative experience for all. How does honoring teachers financially affect their motivation and energy? Teachers dedicate their lives to sharing the wisdom of Gurudev and guiding participants through techniques like Sudarshan Kriya. Financial recognition, even modest, validates their effort and sustains their commitment. When teachers feel supported, their energy and enthusiasm increases, enhancing the quality of guidance for participants. Gurudev often reminds us that honoring those who serve the collective consciousness creates a virtuous cycle. Respected teachers inspire devoted students, which strengthens the entire spiritual ecosystem. Now, in the Vedic tradition, gurus and ritviks were never undervalued. They were honored materially and socially. In today's world, structured contributions replicate this principle, ensuring teachers can devote themselves fully to their spiritual duties. When teachers are respected and financially secure, their focus shifts entirely to imparting wisdom, performing rituals with precision, and guiding seekers. Gurudev's vision ensures that honoring teachers enhances both their fulfillment and the participants' experience. Can a fee system make participants more mindful of their inner journey? Absolutely, when participants consciously contribute, even minimally, it signals that the season and the session is sacred and deserving of their full attention. Paying or offering a sankalpa is an external act that mirrors internal commitments. Participants are more likely to observe the Kriya fully, meditate attentively, and absorb wisdom. Gurudev emphasizes that the external gesture of respect often awakens the inner mindfulness, turning each session into a powerful opportunity for personal transformation. Yes, mindfulness is enhanced when participants feel responsible for their presence and contribution. In Vedic yagas, offerings were a way of aligning the mind with the ritual. Similarly, tickets or contributions create subtle accountability. Attendees come focused, participants participate fully, and leave with a sense of fulfillment. This conscious involvement deepens the inner journey, aligning modern practices with the ancient dharmic wisdom. And Gurudev's leadership ensures this alignment is both effective and compassionate. Now, how can introducing feasts or Devi pujas on Fridays elevate participants' focus and devotion? Devi pujas are powerful rituals that require both a material and emotional presence. When a participant consciously contributes to a fee or a sankalpa, it becomes a form of a personal commitment. They come with preparation, focus, and reverence rather than casual attendance. Gurudev often explains that the intensity of devotion is proportional to conscious effort. A small contribution serves as a reminder that the puja is sacred, encouraging participants to align their thoughts, emotions, and energy fully with the ritual, enhancing both individual and collective benefits. In the Vedic traditions, offerings were never just material, they represented inner readiness and engagement. By linking Devi pujas with their conscious contributions. Participants inherently respect the ritual and the priest performing it. Priests can conduct the puja with a greater focus, knowing the devotees value their effort. The energy generated becomes stronger, and participants feel a deeper sense of connection with the Devi. Under Gurudev's guidance, this modern approach ensures ancient practices retain their transmitted potency while honoring all contributors. How can structured contributions impact the continuity of spiritual programs? Continuity is key to long term spiritual transformation. When participants contribute, teachers and organizers gain a reliable system to plan regular sessions, follow ups, and events. Sudarshan Kriya follow ups and satsangs require consistency for maximum impact. A structured contribution model ensures venues, materials, and human resources are consistently available. Gurudev emphasizes that continuity nurtures discipline and energy flow. Participants, seeing a well organized and sustainable system, remain committed over time, ensuring their practice deepens steadily. Traditionally, yagyas and pujas were supported by communities, guaranteeing this regularity. Modern contributions replicate this principle, creating a dependable framework. Teachers and priests are motivated, participants are engaged, and programs can continue uninterrupted. Even small contributions collectively create a robust support system. Gurudev's leadership ensures that this approach is inclusive, sustaining both the spiritual energy of participants and the ecosystem of guiding and teaching. How can ticketed satsangs help preserve sacred music and bhajans? Bhajans and sacred music are vital to creating spiritual vibrations, yet musicians often work without adequate recognition. Ticketed satsangs allow a portion of contributions to honor these artists. When musicians feel respected, they perform with more devotion, creativity, and energy. Gurudev emphasizes that music is a bridge between the heart and the divine. Structured contributions ensure the sustainability of sacred music, inspiring future generations to continue this tradition. Yes, historically, temple musicians and bhajan singers were sustained by offerings from devotees. Modern ticketed systems can revive this practice. When contributors see their support directly enhancing musical offerings, they feel connected to the spiritual process. Musicians feel motivated, and participants experience richer, more immersive satsangs under Gurudev's guidance. This creates a self sustaining cycle of devotion, artistry, and respect. Now, can paying for pujas or satsangs encourage participants to attend mindfully rather than casually? Mindful participation is essential for experiencing the full benefits of rituals and kriyas. Even a small contribution signals a commitment to be present, attentive, and respectful. Participants naturally prepare mentally, arrive on time, and engage fully with their meditation, chanting, and teachings. Gurudev often says your inner attitude is reflected in your outer actions. A ticket or sankalpa reinforces this principle, creating a conducive environment for spiritual growth for all attendees. Yes, in the Vedic system, the offering was always a mirror of the devotee's inner state. Those who contributed were considered mentally prepared and focused. A structured fee system today achieves the same effect. It encourages participants to prioritize presence and engagement, enhancing collective energy. Priests and teachers also feel more motivated, creating a virtuous cycle of focused, mindful participation under Gurudev's guidance. How does honoring teachers, priests, and musicians financially preserve spiritual traditions? Jagodev teachers, priests, and musicians are custodians of knowledge, rituals, and sacred arts. When participants contribute consciously, it ensures that these roles are honored and sustainable. Gurudev often highlights that spiritual traditions endure when the people who preserve them are respected and supported. Financial acknowledgement allows teachers to dedicate themselves fully, priests to perform rituals meticulously, and musicians to inspire through devotional music. This sustains the lineage of knowledge and the devotion for generations. Exactly, in Vedic culture, sustaining those who maintain dharma was considered essential for societal well being. Modern contributions replicate this principle. Even modest fees or donations ensure continuity of teachings, pujas, and musical traditions. Participants feel engaged and custodians feel valued. Under Gurudev's guidance, this creates a self sustaining ecosystem where devotion, discipline, and tradition thrive harmoniously, ensuring long term preservation of spiritual wisdom. How can paid satsangs help participants integrate teachings into daily life? When participants contribute to a satsang, they mentally prepare themselves for an immersive experience. This conscious preparation fosters deeper attention during meditation, bhajans, and wisdom talks. Gurudev emphasizes that spiritual learning becomes effective only when it is absorbed and applied. Paying even a nominal amount creates a sense of responsibility, prompting participants to reflect on the teachings after the session. They are more likely to practice techniques like Sudarshan Kriya at home, follow up with meditation, and integrate values such as gratitude, patience, and mindfulness into daily life. Now, structured contributions reinforces accountability. Historically, yagyas and rituals require active participation. Those who offered consciously absorb the energy and teachings more fully. In modern satsangs, ticketed systems encourage similar engagement. When participants value the session, they internalize guidance and align their daily actions with dharmic principles. Gurudev's approach ensures that spiritual wisdom transcends the session and transforms life, fostering discipline and conscious living. How can fees or sankalpas support the training of new teachers? Training new teachers is resource intensive, requiring venues, materials, and experienced mentors. Contributions from participants can fund these programs sustainably. Gurudev often stresses the importance of expanding the teacher base to reach more seekers. When participants offering support training, they are indirectly contributing to the global dissemination of spiritual knowledge. This fosters a sense of co-responsibility, connecting participants with the larger mission of the art of living. Yes, in Vedic times, wealthy devotees supported students and scholars, ensuring the continuity of knowledge. Similarly, participant contributions can ensure that teacher training is accessible and high quality. When attendees realize their support sustains teachers, they feel personally invested in the growth of the spiritual community. Gurudev's guidance ensures that this creates a virtuous cycle. Empowered teachers guide committed participants, expanding the reach and depth of spiritual wisdom. Can ticketed events strengthen the discipline of teachers and priests? Yes, structured contributions encourage accountability on all sides. When participants contribute, teachers and priests feel a responsibility to deliver their best. Gurudev emphasizes that discipline is a mutual. Participants commit to attending and engaging, while teachers commit to preparation, clarity, and authenticity. This mutual respect strengthens the overall quality of spiritual programs, enhancing both the learning environment and the impact of practices like Sudarshan Kriya or Rudra Puja. Historically, rituals and teachings demanded precision, and participants offering reinforces modern ticketed systems replicate that dynamic. Priests and teachers become more diligent in preparation, ensuring rituals are performed flawlessly, bhajans are sung with devotion, and kriya sessions are conducted with guidance. This mutual commitment strengthens discipline, elevates energy, and ensures that spiritual programs retain their transformative power under Gurudev's leadership. Now, how can contributions help modernize infrastructure while preserving sacredness? Modern scriptures, spiritual centers require infrastructure, sound systems, seating, lighting, and clean facilities. Contributions allow these improvements without compromising sacredness. Gurudev emphasizes that creating a comfortable and functional environment enhances focus, participation, and devotion. Participants can experience rituals and kriyas in a space that honors both tradition and contemporary needs. When the environment supports spiritual immersion, participants are naturally more engaged and receptive. Now, in Vedic times, yajnas and pujas were conducted in well maintained sacred spaces. The same principle applies today. Contributions enable centers to remain vibrant, clean, and welcoming. This ensures that sacred rituals retain their power while accommodating modern realities. Gurudev's guidance bridges tradition and innovation, ensuring that infrastructure improvements serve spiritual goals and honor all participants, teachers, and priests. How can contributions encourage mutual respect between participants and organizers? When participants offer contributions, it acknowledges the effort of organizers, teachers, priests, and musicians. This recognition fosters a respectful environment where every role is valid. Gurudev often highlights that mutual respect amplifies collective energy. Participants feel seen, and organizers are motivated to deliver their best. This synergy enhances the spiritual atmosphere, making sessions more impactful, harmonious, and uplifting for all involved. Now, mutual respect is central to dharma. Vedic yajnas created a reciprocal bond. Devotees respected priests, priests honored participants, and both co-created sacred energy. Modern contributions reinforce this bond. Participants honor the organizers' effort, and organizers ensure participants receive the full benefit of rituals, music, and teaching. Under Gurudev's leadership, this mutual respect sustains a vibrant, disciplined, and devotional ecosystem benefiting all. How can paying for spiritual programs increase accountability among participants? When participants contribute to satsangs, pujas, and Sudarshan Kriya follow ups, they implicitly acknowledge responsibility for their own spiritual growth. Gurudev emphasizes that conscious participation amplifies the effectiveness of practice. A small fee or sankalpa encourages participants to attend regularly, stay attentive, and practice diligently at home. The act of contributing creates a psychological and spiritual contract. Participants honor the process, respect the teacher, and fully engage in the session. This increases accountability without creating pressure, ensuring consistent inner progress. Now, in Vedic tradition, offerings symbolize mental preparedness and commitment. Today, structured contributions replicate this principle. When attendees consciously support the program, they naturally respect the rules, timings, and practices. They arrive prepared, follow guidance, and interact respectfully with teachers and priests. Under Gurudev's guidance, this cultivates a disciplined, committed, and spiritually focused community where accountability arises from intention and reverence rather than compulsion. How can contributions support outreach programs or community services? Contributions collected during satsangs and pujas can be partially allocated to community outreach, health camps, yoga sessions, stress relief programs, and educational initiatives. Gurudev always teaches that spirituality is inseparable from service. When participants contribute, they indirectly support wider societal welfare. This instills a sense of purpose beyond personal practice. Every contribution becomes a channel for collective benefit. Participants see their practice having a tangible impact, enhancing gratitude and connection with the community. Yes, in Vedic culture, offerings to yagyas often supported the needy, scholars, and temple maintenance. Similarly, today's contributions can fund charitable and educational initiatives. Participants experience that their devotion extends beyond the personal realm into societal upliftment. Gurudev emphasizes that spirituality manifests fully only when it serves others, contributions that strengthen both personal growth and community welfare, creating a self sustaining ecosystem of dharmic action. Now, how can structured contributions encourage lifelong learning and practice? When participants consciously contribute, they perceive each session as valuable, not disposable. This mindset fosters consistency in practice, whether it is Sudarshan Kriya, meditation, or attending pujas. Gurudev often highlights that spiritual growth is cumulative. Daily engagement builds inner resilience, calmness, and clarity. Contributions reinforce this commitment, transforming casual attendance into a structured spiritual journey. Over time, participants develop lifelong habits of sadhana, meditation, and mindful living. Historically, students supported their gurus to sustain long term learning. Structured contributions today replicate this model. Participants recognize the value of guidance and dedicate themselves to continuous practice. Teachers are motivated to provide sustained instruction, and participants internalize teachings over time. Under Gurudev's vision, this ensures spiritual continuity and deep transformation for generations, bridging ancient discipline with modern practices. How can fees or donations enhance the quality of spiritual programs? Yes, check the fees or donations provide resources for professional organization, venues, sound systems, lighting, and supplementary materials. Teachers and priests can focus entirely on the spiritual process without worrying about logistics or financial constraints. Gurudev teaches that quality of environment and preparation amplifies spiritual energy. Even small contributions collectively elevate the entire experience, making sessions more immersive, effective, and memorable for participants. Yes, Vedic rituals were always supported by community resources to ensure excellence. Modern contributions ensure that all aspects, from ritual materials to music, from teacher preparation to venue management, are of high standard. This allows participants to immerse fully, experience deeper transformation, and honor the dedication of teachers and priests. Gurudev's guidance ensures that contributions enhance quality without overshadowing devotion. Now, what is the overall benefit of integrating a fee or contribution system in spiritual programs under Gurudev's leadership? Integrating contributions creates a cycle of respect, accountability, and sustainability. Participants value the experience more deeply, teachers and priests feel honored, and the spiritual energy of the group rises. Gurudev emphasizes that conscious engagement amplifies both individual and collective benefits. Contributions do not commercialize spirituality, they sanctify it by restoring balance between devotion, discipline, and recognition of effort. Participants internalize teachings, maintain consistency, and cultivate gratitude, while programs can thrive sustainably. Structured contributions ensure long term preservation of spiritual traditions, high quality organization, and motivated custodians of Dharma. Participants experience accountability, devotion, and mindfulness, while teachers, priests, and musicians are respected and supported. Community outreach and continuity are strengthened under Gurudev's leadership. This modern adaptation maintains the purity of spiritual practices, revitalizes Vedic principles, and creates an ecosystem where tradition, devotion, and contemporary needs harmoniously coexist, benefiting all generations. Jai Gurudev.